What is up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Dave Steals the Show. 2017 is almost over, and there was so much incredible tech unveiled this year. Made the switch from a MacBook Pro to a Windows laptop, and this thing, well, this thing has been the roller coaster ride of the year for 2017. So many great things with this Dell XPS 15 9560. And so many incredibly terrible things with this laptop. It's created this love-hate relationship. And while I think that this has the potential to be a great machine, I think it just doesn't have the Dell support behind it to make it incredible. There were so many horrible stories this year that came through the comments of my channel. And I feel for all of you. I promise I understand what all of you went through because we went through it together. I can't believe the service that Dell provided. And if you've been following the channels, and if you haven't, I'd recommend go back and watch some of the videos where I talk about this laptop. You'll be very surprised with what transpired. Beginning with a control button that was just set in the wrong position, a headphone jack that didn't really work, trying to return it back and forth with Dell's. One person said you can, another person said you can't, and then they ended up sticking me with the laptop. And then most recently, some dead pixels on the screen, and I had to send the laptop back, and they had to replace the entire panel and send it back to me. So I spent weeks without the laptop, just back and forth. The thing has been just horrible. A horrible experience with Dell customer support. On the hardware side though, this thing it really is beautiful. The only complaint I'd really have about it are two things. One is that while the aluminum body is beautiful, the laptop's kind of heavy. If you compare it to the MacBook Pro, this thing weighs double that. And so I think they could have done something to lighten this laptop up a little bit. The other thing is that the materials they chose for the carbon fiber deck are very fingerprinty. I'm not crazy about the look once it starts to attract all those fingerprints. That's what I would say about the laptop. Otherwise, it has some really great things about it. I love how many ports it has. I also spent a predominant amount of my time with Android phones as opposed to an iPhone. That was a lot of fun, very illuminating. There were some great phones released this year. If you've been following the channel, you know I unboxed a Galaxy S8 Plus, the Galaxy Note 8, a BlackBerry Key 1, a Google Pixel 2 XL. In next week's video, I'm gonna pick my favorite phone of the year. Is that gonna change for next year? We're going to talk about all that in next week's video. In the meantime, the final verdict for this Dell XPS 15 is that I think 1 year of punishment with this thing has been quite enough. I am done with it. I want to say I'm more done with Dell's customer support and customer service. If you're going to have a $2,200 laptop, it has to come with a company that's going to back it with proper customer service. And unfortunately, Dell fell very short this year. So while this is a great machine and a great rig, it does have its issues, just like all laptops do. But I don't feel that Dell stepped up to the plate to help solve the issues and make the experience a great one for me. And so what's going to happen is in 2018, I'm going to move back to a MacBook Pro, and I'm going to spend the year with the MacBook Pro. Apple really knows how to do customer service. I've never had an issue with them. Will I switch back to an iPhone? Like I said, I'm going to talk about that in next week's video. I'm going to declare an overall winner on the Android side of phones this year, and I'll let you guys know what I'm doing with my own phone going into next year. Stay tuned for next week's episode. Have a very, very Merry Christmas this week, guys, and I will see you all next week.